Because we haven't had enough accidents with insulation.
We do.
Well, that wasn't that bad. That was quite slick.
That was quite good.
Hi everyone. So today we're going to start insulating the actual insides of the van. So you've seen in the previous videos that we insulated the floor with this sort of
rigid foam board insulation.
Yeah. Rigid foam board insulation.
Basically, Insulating is a well-known brand of it. This is just a cheaper knockoff, but same thing.
So we're going to actually double stack the sides with insulation, and then, but not where the bed's going to be.
So that we have full length bed. So first layer is just going directly onto the metalwork, and then we're going to secure it in place with some foil tape. And then after that we'll be battening the sides to fit the plywood, and then we will push fit in another bit of insulation between the battens.
So similar to what we did to the floor, but basically, but we're just doing another layer underneath first. Make it nice and warm.
Cool.
For here and for over here, just stuck some sort of offcuts in these sort of holes where we maybe cut a little bit too much off, but that's fine. Finished?
Go for it.
So I wouldn't necessarily recommend using a handsaw the way I just used it to cut that, but it cut and it was fine, and I didn't cut myself or cut any other parts of the thing. But now we've got this nice workmate in the van to cut it on.
You said you blamed me for making it not as accurate. That's shit. Sorry, but...
What? It's not shit. Because you cut more off on the other side.
I didn't.
You did.
It wouldn't all fit in.
Yeah.
When I left it.
Yeah, whatever. Hey Google. Hey Google.
Yeah, because I'll be eating it out all the time.
Yeah, true. Oh, I've cut my finger.
Oh,
quite a decent amount there, actually.
The foil sharp.
The best plaster.
Oh yeah. Oh no, we will.
We will.
No. Why don't you sit on that?
You fell off the insulation when it was on this.
Yes, so all the paper and little tiny bits of...
You're creating the bin. So we now pretty much have this whole side insulated apart from around the window, which is just a little bit more fiddly. So we use the foil tape along here to make sure that there's no gaps. Time to insulate some more. insulation that we're using to fill in sort of the small gaps. We call it the clouds because that's what we called it in the last van, so I wasn't even sure what it was actually called. So it's just a cycled plastic loft insulation, and basically it's hydrophobic, so you don't want normal loft insulation or hold the water, which is not necessarily a problem in a normal house, but in a van it saves you from doing sort of the vapour barrier and that type of thing, so you don't want the actual metal to rust from the inside out. So we're going to use this sort of in some of the small gaps along the ribs, places that we just can't get the hard stuff in really. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about sometimes.
Yeah.
That Ed informs me on.
Yeah.
So then this rib here is now full with the sort of cloud insulation, and then doing the foil tape over the top, just for full insulation properties. So along the side of the bottom of the van are these holes, which basically, well, you get loads of time. Basically are drainage holes, so things can, obviously if you're driving on the road and water can come up and whatever, so that makes sure that that all drains away. So you don't want to fill them in insulation and cover them up because then it's just going to get wet. So we're covering it with the foil tape just to make sure that then nothing comes up into the van. So this bit here will be the kitchen area. This bit here will be the bathroom area, and then the bit there will be stuff behind the cupboards. So we don't want that to then become damp or whatever in those areas that are a little bit more inaccessible.
Get back to work now.
Yeah. Because we haven't had enough accidents with insulation.
We do.
Well, that wasn't that bad. That was quite slick. Oh my god.
It's only plastic.
It's still on.
Okay, so
I knew you'd do that.
So today we've done started off the first layer of insulation. We've got pretty much all of the walls done. Here we have left because I need to work out what we're doing with bed support, and if I need to do that, I don't want to have to take insulation off. We've also fitted a lot of the ribs with the cloud soft insulation. We're going to just continue with that until it gets too dark or the light runs out or battery. And then next week we'll finish off the insulation, get some battenings in, get the second layer of insulation in, maybe the roof.
Yeah.
Lots to do.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Hi everyone, so we are now a week on from insulating, and now we're going to carry on insulating. So this is the sliding door rail which the side door slides on. It's a known place for this type of van, Peugeot boxes, Victor Gattos and things, to rust underneath. So I've taken off this bolt here with the door open, shut the door, and then taken off the 6 bolts on the inside and get it off. So it is a bit rusty, but it's not that bad. So I'm going to clean it up, treat it a bit, and that'll be fine. So I'm just rubbing back any of the bad high rust spots just with some high grit sandpaper to see if it's surface rust or goes deeper.
So I'm just adding some more sound deadening stuff to the roof of the van, just because, well, we didn't really do it last time. I'm not really sure if I thought about it, but Hopefully it'll help when it's raining and that type of thing. Thank you very much.
So I'm also going to stand in the high spots on here. If there's high spots on here, then it will just cause more rubbing and more glasses. So.
Are you done then?
Don't knock it over until it fall off. Wasn't bad.
No, that didn't take half as long as I expected.
No, but
and I was a little nervous.
The problem is it could be bad. I've seen pictures on Facebook of people's where it's like almost rusted through it before.
Being on the Facebook van groups is really helpful at times, but I don't necessarily agree with a lot of the things that people say.
Yeah.
And that's like me, who is not that great at DIY.
Yeah. Well, anybody can say anything on Facebook.
Yeah. And everyone has their own opinions as well. DIY is obviously do it yourself.
Yeah.
People do things in slightly different ways. Doesn't necessarily mean that person's right or wrong.
Do what you think is best. If you're not sure, ask an expert. Don't ask Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah, of everyone who thinks they're experts.
Yeah.
And we're not experts.
No.
We make it up as we go along, as I'm sure you've watched so far.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to wear the same clothes in every video though.
I do. Quite a bit obvious. So for this window we need a bit of a frame around it to secure the plywood to it, so to sort of act like a window frame. So I'm going to go quickly and make a frame. Here's one I've just made. So this frame fits quite snug over that and gives us a space for somewhere to attach the plywood to. So we'll be able to, this is thicker than we're going to use, but we'll be able to put the plywood right up against it, around the edges, get a nice smooth window frame. Get a bit in the middle. That gets right under there. Yep. I mean, it should grab pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, look at that, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That is decent.
No, you're not going to need the tape reach. So we spent today doing some sort of little odd jobs with the insulation. We've just finished off the frames for the back two windows, but things are maybe just taking a little bit longer than we thought.
As always.
As always, yeah. So we're just going to carry on doing some other insulation, and then in the next video we should have the battens on the sides and the insulation finished, fingers crossed.